Hi, my name is Michael from XESTUDIOZ and welcome to my Godot series. In this series, we'll be learning how to make a 3D controller game. I'll be using two software for this series, both Blender and Godot. You can get the Blender recent version by clicking on this button here, or you can try previous version if your PC is not compatible with the recent version. And this also applies to Godot game engine. You can click on this button to get the previous version, or you can click on this to get the recent version. With that said, let's move over to Mixamo, and this is where we're going to get a character. You can select any character here. I selected this particular character, and you go to animation and you select or search for an animation that you want. So for this series, we'll be using this character and 4 animations for now. So let's go with the idle animation. We'll need this animation for when our character is just standing still. So you can just select any one that you want. I went with this one. Once you select the animation that you want, click on download. Only for this idle animation should you download with a skin. The rest you have to download it without skin. I already have this downloaded, so you can just click on download. Make sure it's on with skin and you download it. So once you have all your remaining animations downloaded without skin, you can just import them into Blender. Once the software opens up, create a general project and then delete all the items in the collection and import the FBX files that you downloaded. Okay, so now all we have to do is select all of them and import it. So we should have all our FBX here. Okay. Sorry. Alright, so you just drag this section up. Then we come here and we select non-linear animation. We click on the first one. Let's click on move and then just shift this to the side. We're going to name this idle. We click the next animation and let's move it to the side here. We'll click on the next one, move it to the side. So this way we get to see all the animations and know which one we're working on. If we click on this last animation here and we click on play by clicking on spacebar, you know that this is the walk animation. And then we come here and rename it to walk. We go to the next animation, which is this one, and this should be the run animation. We go to the next animation, which is the jump animation. And that's it. Click on this, click on this, click on it. And we're going to do this except for the idle animation. And what we want to do is select these animations and delete them. And then we'll come back to our idle animation and let's click on this, click on add action strip, and then we add the jump. Just take this to the first frame, and now we want to add the jump and add run and add walk. Okay, now once we've done this, we just come to export and then we export as a GLB file. I already have a folder that I created for this entire series, and inside that folder I created an asset folder, and inside the asset folder I created a character folder that will be storing our GLB file. So you can just export it here and close up Blender. Alright, for this part we are just going to open up Godot and create a new project by clicking on the create button. We turn off create folder and rename the project to whatever we want to rename it to. For this case, I'm going to use YouTube test. Once you're done renaming your project, you can just click on browse and select the folder that you want to use. Then click on compatibility, click OK, and we are done. Once you open up your Godot game engine, we'll be breaking this entire layout that you see here in different parts. So we have the top section, we have the scene tree section, we have the file system section, we have the inspector section here, and then we just have this viewport, or let's just say the main screen. So let's start with this top part. We have the settings for the project here. You can use the scene, project, debug, edit, and so on. Then we have this main screen options here. We can use this to toggle the main screen to change. For example, we switch to a 2D viewport or main screen, or 3D, or the one for scripts, or the asset library. And then we have the playback option here that we use to run our scenes. So if we come to the scene tree here, let me switch this back. You can add different scenes, or let's say different nodes that we would use to run the game over here. And in this part of the video, I forgot to explain what the inspector section is for. The inspector section is used to modify whatever node that we add in our scene tree. So with that said, let's get back to the video. And in the file system, we have something like a file manager. It just shows you the resources that you're using for the game. For example, the asset folder that we created. So with that said, let's create a 3D scene, and we're going to name this level. You can change it to whatever you want, and we're going to create a child node for it. We can use Ctrl A as a shortcut, or we just right click and add a child node. Now what we want to add is a mesh instance 3D. It's just going to give us a mesh here. So we'll come to the inspector and we click on add plane mesh. Now we have this plane mesh here, but the thing is, if we are to add something, or let's just say we add a character, our character will just fall through this. So in order for us to prevent that, we need to add a collision shape to this. We need to add a collision shape to this mesh. So click on the mesh again. Let's just name this floor. You don't really have to name it first before you add the collision. I'm just doing that so I can keep track of it. So we'll come to mesh over here, create a collision shape, and we're going to create a static body child and a tri-mesh here. So create, and this way now we have a floor here that has collision with it. So we click on floor, and you can come to the inspector, transform and scale, and you can increase the size of it here using the scale and just toggling through different values. So one thing I want to let you know while working with this is that if you have this turned on like this and you click on 5, this 5 is just going to appear in each of these values like this. And if you want to edit only one particular value, you can just switch this off like this. That's the way it works. So let's change this back to 1. Okay, so now that we have our floor, the next thing we need to add as a child node of the level is a light source, a environment, that's a world environment, and a camera that we can use to view this entire world. So to add the world and light source, you can click on this 3 button here, add the sun to the scene. Let's raise this up. Okay, let's Ctrl Z first. I didn't select the lights. Okay, now we can move this to the side, and the next thing we want to do is add an environment. So that's about it, and add one more. Let's click on this, add one more child node, which is the camera. So we'll add our camera 3D, and you can see the camera is the camera is right over there, and let's just drag this up a bit, and we can use the preview to see what the camera sees as well. Let's just take this forward a bit and then preview it. Okay, so this is everything we need for our level, and what we need to do is save. So we can save this by just create a new folder here. Now we'll name this scenes and save. Okay, now what we want to do is add a new scene, but for this, instead of using a 3D scene, we're going to use a character scene. So for this one, we are going to be using a character body 3D. There are actually two nodes that we can use to create a character. We can either use a character body 3D or a rigid body 3D. I would suggest you just use the character body 3D, and then we tap on create. Then we create a shard node. For this, we're going to use a mesh instance 3D and create this. And now we need a collision for it and also a shape for it. Let's give it a shape first. Sorry, not a plain shape, a capsule. All right, and then we click on the mesh collision shape, and we're going to click on sibling and simplified convex. Okay, now you notice the error is gone, and we now have two scenes, one holding our character and one holding our world. So now we want to take this into this, so we can just save. You can actually do this before saving, but I'm just saving now. So we have this in our scene. Okay, and then we come to the level and we'll click on the player here and instantiate. So this makes a copy of it on our level scene. So the mistake I made here is that this isn't supposed to be a child node of the camera, but a child node of the level. So when you want to do this, you can just click on the level first before instantiating. So let's just drag this to the level, and now it's now a child of the level instead of the camera. We can just drag this by using these straight lines to keep it at the top there. Now let's just select the player and then move it to the middle. We can just use a transform, and we go to position and then we'll put 0 here and we say that's 0, and now we'll have it in the middle there. And for the size, let's just say 0.2, and then we can take this up a bit. Now if we click on the camera here to preview, we should see our capsule there. So if we click on run current scene, we'll be able to see our capsule in the air, but it's not hitting the ground because there's no gravity yet or any other form of control. So we come back to our player, that's our character body 3D, and then we'll add a script to it. You can see that in the templates option, you will have a basic movement template already made for character 3D. So we'll just create, and this is the script for the character 3D. This is going to let us have gravity and movement. So if you look here, we have UI left, right, up, and down. This is the control. We'll learn mapping and the rest in the next video. But for this, to just simply understand this, these are the arrow keys on your keyboard, and this is the enter key. So we go back to our 3D and we switch it to level. And now once we try to run this scene, bend this a bit. It's opened up, and you can see it's on the ground because it was up here, but since we've added the gravity in the script, it sends it down here. And we can use the arrow keys to control our capsule and use this to jump. So that's everything concerning the basics of using Godot and Blender for game dev. And for the next video, we'll be adding in our animation and the ninth character that we downloaded from Mixamo. So please leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment for any part of the video you had interest in or have any complaints for.